You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday afternoon.
It's getting real. It's almost time to start traveling, everyone.
The big escape it has begun.
You can feel the anxiety in the air. That's why we're starting with our first warn forecast. Meteorologist Jacob Monsanto is in the studio with a look at alert day conditions that could interfere with your travel plans. Jacob?
Yeah, we're expecting alert day conditions for the windy weather tomorrow, and then there's another alert day later in the forecast. But looking at the one tomorrow, we're expecting some strong winds along with some light snow. Gusts could be up around 50 miles per hour. This is going to be the case for all of southern Wisconsin. By the way, could we put on Max 2 behind me, please? Sorry about that. We are going to see some alert day conditions tomorrow for the wind, but we also could be seeing some light snow. Now, there's a wind advisory in effect for our entire area from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. And we also are going to see some windy conditions for Thanksgiving as well, but it's not going to be quite as windy. Now, could we please get Max 2 behind me? I apologize. Now, as we take a look at the wind gust forecast, thank you very much. Now, as we look at the evening, the winds are really going to pick up, gusts up around 20 to 30 miles per hour. But as we get to Wednesday morning, that's when they're really going to strengthen, gusts up around 40 to 50 miles per hour. And this is going to continue really for the entire day. And once we get to Thanksgiving, like I mentioned, still going to see those breezy conditions, but it will improve just a little bit. And we also are going to see some snow during this period, with not a lot of precipitation right now, but we also are going to see rain before we see snowfall. So taking a look at the rainfall forecast, we are going to see that rain move in after sunset, possibly bringing in maybe a few isolated thunderstorms. That this will be along a cold front. And once that rain does move off to the east, we are going to see that snow begin to move in as the winds shift out of the west. And later in the night and into Wednesday morning, we're going to see that snow move across our area, with the chance of snow possibly continuing throughout most of the day. Now, I'll continue talking more about this system and show you that next system, which will occur after Thanksgiving, that we have another alert day for. I'll have more details on that coming up a bit later.
Thank you, Jacob. We have new video of the arrest of the Slender Man attacker, Morgan Geyser.
This is body camera video from police in Posen, Illinois, where Geyser and a friend were arrested on Sunday night after escaping her Madison group home over the weekend. Now, this happened at a gas station about 25 miles from Chicago.
I did something wrong. She did.
What did you do?
She doesn't know what I did.
Okay, that's fine. Let me talk to you over here. What is it that you did wrong?
I did something really wrong.
Well, police ultimately released the person with Geyser.
Geyser will return to Wisconsin soon. She waived her extradition today in court in Chicago. She'll be held in Cook County for 30 days or until Wisconsin authorities travel to Illinois to get her. The deputy district attorney of Waukesha County, where the Slender Man attack happened, will argue in favor of putting Geyser back in institutional care instead of in a group home setting. In March of 2014, the then 12-year-old Geyser and Anissa Wire took their classmate Peyton Leitner into the woods and nearly killed her. Geyser stabbed Peyton multiple times as Wire egged her on. The two admitted to the attack, saying that they did it to please the fictional horror character Slender Man. Both were committed to mental health facilities. Wire has been out since 2021 on the condition that she lives with her dad and wears a GPS monitor.
We'll keep you updated on this case right here on News 3 Now. To receive notifications directly to your phone, you can download the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
Well, this week, millions will travel the skies around the country for Thanksgiving kicking off the busy holiday travel season.
Here we go again. Jalen Banks joins us live now from the Dane County Regional Airport on how air travel is going in our area. Jalen?
Brady and Susan, it seems like every year there's some eye-popping statistic or record that's being broken when it comes to Thanksgiving travel. And in 2025, that trend is going to continue. The FAA anticipates that this Thanksgiving will be the busiest in terms of air travel in 15 years. And that increase in air travel is even reaching here at the Dane County Regional Airport. And the airport tells me compared to last year, they're up over 10% on passengers 15% with a 15% increase in flights, and those flights are delivering an 11% increase in seats. Now I had the chance to catch up with some passengers on what their experience has been so far.
So actually, the funny thing is, as soon as I went to TSA, a huge wave came in. So thank you, Jesus. That was like perfect timing. Brief delay, like 15 minutes, but I was enjoying my time prior again.
Now, the airport shares with me that just due to the unexpected and volatile nature of holiday travel, just to get to the airport as soon as you can for your flight. Now, tonight, later in the show, we'll hear more from the airport as far as how they're handling this influx of travelers for this Thanksgiving. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys. Reporting live from the Dane County Regional Airport, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
And Jacob will be following the winds in the forecast tomorrow. Hope that doesn't cause any more delays. Jalen, thank you. Two brothers arrested last week in southern Wisconsin are now officially charged with homicide. The Dane County District Attorney charged 34-year-old Jordan Charlo with 3 counts of first-degree homicide as a party to a crime. He's in jail on $1 million bond. His 33-year-old brother Justin is charged with 1 count of first-degree homicide as a party to a crime. He is in jail on an $850,000 bond. Last week, police said they arrested one of the brothers, and the Sauk and Columbia County Sheriff's offices arrested the other. The charges stem from 3 separate shootings over the course of 2 years. Police say both Jordan and Justin are connected to a deadly shooting in July of 2017. A 29-year-old man lost his life after being shot on Atterbury Lane. Jordan's 2 additional homicide charges stem from a shooting in May of 2016 when a 38-year-old man died after being shot near a West Side gas station, and a shooting in March of 2017 when a 31-year-old victim died after being shot on East Washington.
The deer population in Wisconsin has continually increased in recent years.
Now, in the midst of gun deer opening weekend, there's a question about if the licensed gun hunters match the increase in the deer in the area. Our Nash Dara is here with more. Nash?
Yes, Susan, numbers show the amount of gun deer hunters in Wisconsin stayed relatively similar from last year's statistics. This season, the DNR registered 777,843 licenses, 538,865 of which were strictly for gun privileges only. These totals were only down 0.03% from this time last year, so although hunter numbers may be down in the big picture, license numbers are at a constant.
We need to make a clarification between the difference in decline in hunter numbers and license sales, because we have documented a loss in total hunter numbers since the turn of the century, but those hunters that remain, more of them are purchasing both archery and firearm licenses.
Weekend hunters harvested just over 90,000 deer statewide, which was nearly a 4% increase from 2024, which Pritzl believes was due to the weekend starting 1 day earlier. The date for the opening week of gun deer hunting will last until November 30th, and hunters are required to wear neon orange and or pink when in the field.
Nash, thank you. After the government shutdown led to a blackout in economic data, the Bureau of Labor Statistics released a flurry of new statistics.
How Americans feel about the economy and the impact it could have on Black Friday.
And later, the U.S. claims Ukraine is close to accepting a peace deal to end its war with Russia, what the country would have to give up if that happens.
And Jacob takes a look at your first warn forecast when we could see some snow when Live at 4 is back.
Well, in the 608, a local health system is supporting food pantries across Wisconsin.
Josh Sprider shows us how SSM Health is trying to help fight food insecurity in the communities it serves.
We were at the Badger Prairie Needs Network in Verona with a really cool story today. I have a couple of friends in the 608 joining us. I've got Tracy from here at the Badger Prairie Needs Network and also Megan from SSM Health. Megan, you've got something in your hand and you've got a pretty special presentation. What are we talking about today?
Well, we are here today and we are so excited to be in partnership with the Badger Prairie Network and so excited to offer them a gift of $10,000 for their mission in support of our Mission and Heritage Week at SSM Health.
This is a huge check check. So show off that baby. Look at that. Tracy, I mean, this is a huge contribution.
This is incredible. This is one of the largest contributions we get all year, and such a surprise and such a delight because this will feed so many people in our community.
So this is $10,000. How many people will this feed?
Well, it'll create 40,000 meals, and that's using pantry math, but that'll feed a lot of people when you think the average person eats about 20 meals a week, so that's a lot of meals.
Well, and especially during these uncertain times, I mean, this is going to make a huge impact here in Verona.
Absolutely, and the need is increasing, and it's been all over in the news with the SNAP benefits issues and the various issues. We're having more and more people come to us, more new people come to us, and so this kind of contribution makes a huge difference.
And Megan, this is just one of the locations that you guys are giving back. You're really focusing on all of the areas you serve in Wisconsin.
We are. We have 7 hospitals throughout the Wisconsin region, and we are supporting food pantries in all of our markets and in all of our areas. About 20 plus pantries are receiving some support from us this year.
Why is it important for you guys to continue to do stuff just like this?
Yeah, a part of our heritage and mission is really to be thinking about those social determinants of health and those things that really impact our patients and our communities out in our communities. And we really rely on our community partners. We can do great healthcare, but our partners really carry it the rest of the way. And so we're really excited to support specifically our food pantry partners right now.
And that's really what it is. It's a partnership, and you guys won't be able to do this without the help of the community.
Absolutely. We depend on so many different people and so many different organizations for money, for donations, and for volunteers. And we all work together to feed the community.
So if there are folks that are watching this and be like, hey, I want to give, what's the best way for them to help your mission?
The best way is to go to our website, bpnn.org, and click on Donate Now and give us a cash donation, because with that we can buy what we need when we need it, and we can get it at a much better price.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Megan and Tracy, thank you guys so much. Hold up that check nice and high. Look at that. That is going to do some good here in the 608, and that is what we love to see. In Verona, I'm Josh Spreiter, News 3 Now.
Thank you, guys. You got to frame that bad boy.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Now to the weather. The wind is going to be the big story tomorrow. It's going to be a bad hair day, Jacob.
Yeah, we're going to see gusts up around 50 miles per hour tomorrow, which has prompted us to put out an alert day. It's also going to be a lot colder for Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving on Saturday, we could see some accumulating snow, much better chance of accumulating snow than what we're going to see tomorrow. Now let's start with the precipitation over the next 24 hours or so. Right now, there is some rain to the west of the Mississippi and also to the northwest of our area. And as I mentioned earlier, although we're going to see some snow, we're going to see some rain first. Now, looking at the winter weather advisories, these are in effect for the far northern portion of our area and the northeastern portion of our area from 3 a.m. tonight until noon tomorrow. As we look at future track, again, that rain's going to move in a little bit after sunset and push across our area, and this will be along a cold front. So we could see a few isolated thunderstorms with this, but not going to see a large number of storms, mostly just some moderate rain, maybe some pockets of heavy rain as well. And then once that clears out, the winds will shift out of the west and really cool the temperatures down. And then here comes the snow. It's likely going to move in after midnight and spread out across our area throughout the morning hours Wednesday. And we're going to continue to see the chance of snow for most of Wednesday morning and into the afternoon, although the snow will likely be on and off, not a consistent falling snowfall. And the further south you're located, the less snowfall you will see in general. And as we get towards Wednesday afternoon, areas east of Madison may still see some snow showers. But once we get to Wednesday night, that's going to clear up, and then we're going to be pretty dry for Thanksgiving. And the lack of snowfall accumulation, at least in far southern Wisconsin, shouldn't create any slippery roads for Thanksgiving. Although, as I mentioned, that wind tomorrow could create some treacherous travel conditions. And looking at the accumulation, a lot of the area expecting less than an inch, maybe about an inch or two for areas further to the north and to the northeast. Now, looking at the alert day for the strong winds tomorrow, we're going to see gusts up around 50 miles per hour for all of southern Wisconsin throughout the entire day. And looking at the wind gust forecast, not seeing those windy conditions now, but they're going to pick up this evening and get even stronger once we get towards Wednesday. And throughout the entire day, gusts will be up around 40 to 50 miles per hour, getting a little bit better for Thanksgiving, but it's still going to be pretty breezy with gusts up around 30 to 40 miles per hour again. And looking at the Thanksgiving forecast, thankfully it will be dry these 2 days, but it's going to be cold. High temperatures are only going to be near 30. Overnight lows will likely drop into the teens with wind chills in the single digits to start the day. Now let's talk about the next alert day, which is for Saturday for a much bigger system expected to move across our area. This one won't change the temperatures too much as it's going to remain cold, but this one could definitely and very likely will bring more snowfall than what we're going to see tomorrow. So looking at the timing of this, again, not going to see much for Thanksgiving or Black Friday, but here comes that next system. It's going to start Friday evening, late Friday evening and Friday night, and the chance of snow will be there for the rest of the night Friday into Saturday and really all of Saturday into Saturday night as well. Snowfall accumulation could produce several inches. We're still not 100% clear as to just how much snow we will see, but models are in very good agreement that our area will likely see some snowfall and likely see some accumulating snow. And then it's going to clear out for Sunday afternoon. And a lot of the Midwest will be seeing some snowfall with this as well. So we are likely going to see some travel impacts with it, especially those that may be trying to fly back to Wisconsin on Saturday for the Thanksgiving holiday. And then after that snowfall clears out, we're going to see even colder temperatures. Monday morning and Tuesday morning, we could be talking about wind chills below zero. So it's going to be very winter-like the next 10 days, and Saturday especially could see that accumulating snowfall.
Sounds like we will need the industrial can of hairspray for the weather coming up.
Liquid helmet.
Thanks, Jacob. Well, after a blackout during the federal government shutdown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics released a flurry of economic news.
And the data shows that higher prices at the store are likely due to higher costs for retailers. In September, wholesale goods prices jumped 0.9%. That is the sharpest monthly increase for the category in more than 18 months. These were the driver of all of the overall rise in the Producer Price Index that month, which is moving away from the Fed's 2% target rate.
The new information also shows consumers' confidence in the economy in November fell to its lowest level in 7 months. Consumer confidence declined sharply to a reading of 88.7, its lowest since April. That's when the president announced his sweeping tariffs. The figures suggest Americans are increasingly wary of high cost and sluggish job gains.
And that's evident in a new retail survey from Deloitte. It found more than 80% of people say they'll be making purchases during Black Friday sales. But with a majority of shoppers expecting higher prices on holiday goods, many are keeping their wallets tight.
The average consumer is expected to spend $622, which still sounds like a lot this weekend, but that is down 4% versus last year. I think the bottom line here is people are looking for deals. Bank of America says 90% of people are going to go shop at a discount retailer. Okay, that's a lot, actually. And then 50% would consider giving a dupe, a fake product, to save money.
Well, if you're looking to get an early start on Black Friday, there are several options. Online retailers are already rolling out specials, and major brick and mortar stores are opening early, some starting at 5 a.m.
Meanwhile, on Wall Street, the Dow was up 664 points. The Nasdaq is up 154. The S&P 500 is up 61.
Still ahead on Live at 4 this afternoon, a bipartisan group of lawmakers wants regulators to look into Facebook's parent company.
How much money they say Meta is making off scam ads that hurt the platform's users. Breaking news right now on Live at 4. We have new information about the victims in last night's deadly plane crash in Greene County. That crash near Monroe killed 2 men, both of them in their 40s. One of the victims was from Oshkosh, the other was from Omro. The crash was reported at about 5:15 yesterday in a gravel quarry near the Monroe Airport. In our next half hour, Armand Rahman is at the scene with what we know so far.
Now to a major update on Russia's war in Ukraine. U.S. officials tell CBS News Ukraine's government has agreed to a peace deal.
But there are still several issues that need to be ironed out. Erica Brown is in Washington with the latest effort at ending the nearly 4-year war.
Ukraine and Russia traded deadly strikes overnight, killing at least 7 people in Ukraine's capital city and 3 in southern Russia.
In the last month, 25,000 soldiers have died.
It comes as U.S. officials negotiate the terms of a peace deal between the warring countries. President Trump was optimistic about the talks during the White House's annual turkey pardoning ceremony.
I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky hopes to meet with President Trump soon to work out what he called sensitive points.
We firmly believe security decisions about Ukraine must include Ukraine, because when something is decided behind the back of the country or its people, there is always a high risk that it simply will not work.
Ukraine's national security advisor said Tuesday that a common understanding has been reached on key terms of the U.S. brokered agreement, while Russia's foreign minister declined to directly comment on the plan.
But I think the big resistance that'll probably come out of the Kremlin will have to do with some of what they always describe as the underlying conditions, which is security guarantees for Ukraine, but some way precluding them from joining the NATO alliance.
In a social media post, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said there are a few delicate but not insurmountable details that must be sorted out and will require further talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the United States. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
A bipartisan group of senators is urging federal regulators to investigate Facebook parent company Meta for claims the tech giant profits off of fraudulent and scam posts. A new report from Reuters alleges Meta earns as much as $16 billion in profits a year from those ads. Meta says it has large goals to reduce ad scams, and the company has removed more than 130 million pieces of scam ad content this year.
Well, coming up on Live at 4, we're back at the scene of last night's deadly plane crash near Monroe.
Arman Rahman brings us up to date on everything we know so far.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for staying with us today on Live at 4.
Yeah, hopefully everyone is going to get to their destinations in a safe and sound manner.
Yep, let the planes, trains, and automobiles begin.
Oh, good movie, by the way.
Yeah. Let's take a look outside today. Oh, this is a beautiful shot of the geese and the fog. This is right over by the Tenny Locks. The weather words for today: impactful weather ahead. That's always an ominous description.
Bum, bum, bum.
Impactful meaning what, Jacob?
Well, it means a lot of different things. For tomorrow, it's going to mainly be in the form of strong winds, but we also will see much colder temperatures and some light snow, with heavier snow expected later in the Thanksgiving weekend. Now, starting with tomorrow, that's when we have an alert day for strong winds. Also some light snow, as gusts are going to be up to around 50 miles per hour. There's a wind advisory in effect for pretty much the entire area from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. And looking at the wind gust forecast, not seeing those strong winds now, but they're going to pick up during the evening, gusts up around 20 to 30 miles per hour this evening. Then as we get towards Wednesday morning, they are really going to pick up, and throughout pretty much all day tomorrow, gusts will be between 40 and 50 miles per hour, sustained winds between 20 and 30 miles per hour. So it is going to be a windy one. And then as we get to Thanksgiving, still windy, just not quite as windy, but it still will be very cold. Now, as we take a look at the current radar, still seeing those showers mostly to the west of our area, but places near the Mississippi River will see that rain very quickly. And this rain's going to move through our area along the cold front. And there could be maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two, certainly not any severe weather, but we could see some pockets of heavy rain as this moves through. And then after it clears out, the winds are going to shift out of the west and really cool those temperatures down. And then the snow is going to move in later in the night, with this chance of snow continuing throughout much of the day tomorrow, especially in the morning. Once we get towards the afternoon hours, it will be a little bit more broken up, with just areas to the east seeing that snowfall. And on top of the light snow, as I mentioned, we're going to see the windy conditions, although I don't expect to necessarily see blizzard-like conditions, because we're not going to see the snow fall at a particularly heavy pace, and it's not going to accumulate all that much. But certainly a windy one tomorrow, but that's just the first alert day we have in the forecast. There is another one for a better chance of snow. I'll talk more about that coming up a bit later.
All right, thank you, Jake. And if you have loved ones who are going to be traveling, if you haven't done it already, this would be a good time to download our First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
We are continuing our coverage on the fiery plane crash in Greene County last night. 2
men died just feet away from the airport where they were supposed to land. And we're learning tonight they were both in their 40s. One was from Oshkosh and the other from Amro.
Arman Rahman has the latest details from the scene.
Greene County Sheriff's officials continue to block access to where the crash happened, which was a quarry on that side of Highway 59. Although staff at the Monroe Municipal Airport, who did not wish to go on camera, tell me they were working when it happened, heard the engines, came out, saw the sky turn bright yellow above the quarry and then heard a large explosion. We've learned a bit more about what the pilot was doing. The plane departed from Whitman Regional Airport in Oshkosh and was set to land at the Monroe Airport. The plane took off a little before 5 p.m. and when trying to land, conditions were very foggy.
A deputy arrived on scene and located an aircraft crash and construction equipment engulfed in flames.
2 people died in the crash. The Monroe County Sheriff tells me he does not plan to release the names of the victims yet. The NTSB and FAA were still out investigating the site Tuesday afternoon. Reporting in Monroe, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. A 17-year-old from Beloit charged in a deadly crash will go to trial. Carter Petit was in court in Rock County today, where he pleaded not guilty to the charges against him. And those are 1 count of homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle, 2 counts of reckless driving causing great bodily harm, and 1 count of reckless driving causing bodily harm, his only misdemeanor count. A criminal complaint alleges Petit was driving well over the speed limit while high when he crashed in a cornfield west of South Emerald Grove earlier this month. 4 other people, all teenagers, were in the car at the time. One of them, a 15-year-old boy, died at the scene. We don't know when Petit will be back in court, but as soon as we do, we'll have it right here on News 3 Now.
A former University of Virginia student who killed 3 college football players, including a former Badger, in 2022 will spend the rest of his life in prison. A judge handed down 5 life sentences to Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. for the deadly shooting. 3 of those sentences are for the killings of each of his victims, which include Devin Chandler. Chandler played for the Badger football team in 2020. He transferred to the University of Virginia after the end of the 2021 season.
Right now, millions of people across the country are beginning their travels for the Thanksgiving holiday.
We're continuing to track travel across our area. Our Jalen Banks is live tonight from the Dane County Regional Airport with how things are going so far. Jalen?
Susan and Brady, I've been here at the Dane County Regional Airport for the majority of the day, and I'd say it hasn't necessarily been busy, but there's been a steady flow of travelers coming to and from here at the airport. But as far as nationwide goes, the year-over-year record-breaking travel seems it's going to continue this year. The FAA expects that this will be the busiest Thanksgiving for air travel in 15 years, and that influx of travel is reaching here at the Dane County Regional Airport. And I caught up with the airport earlier on what they're seeing.
If we're just using last year as a comparison, we're up over 10% on passengers alone. We have 15% increase in flights, and those flights are delivering an 11% increase in seats. So what that means for passengers is there's more flights to choose from, more seats on those flights, a lot more options to get people where they need to go for the holiday weekend.
Now, I've been monitoring the arrivals and departures throughout the day. There's only been a handful of delays. Thankfully, no cancellations up until this point. But again, we'll continue to keep our viewers updated as far as how air travel is going here. But tonight at 5, we'll hear from passengers on what their experience has been like traveling during such a busy time during the year. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio. Reporting live from the Dane County Regional Airport, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
We will see you at 5, Jalen. Thank you. And if you're driving, expect some delays. This is a map from the Department of Transportation, and it shows where drivers will run into construction and closures. The agency specifically made mention of highway projects that could impact you, including I-43 in Rock County. It's reduced to 1 lane in each direction from Hart Road to the East Rock County line. And in Columbia County, 3 lanes are open in each direction on the I-39-90-94 bridge over the Wisconsin River just south of Portage.
And while traffic might be a pain for drivers, hey, your wallet might be getting some relief. Gas Buddy projects the average national price at the pump on Thanksgiving Day will be $3.02, the lowest Thanksgiving price since 2020. For those of you who are not planning to travel out of state, even better news, Wisconsin's below the national average at $2.73.
Well, this is the 31st year of the Goodman Shepherd's traditional Thanksgiving dinner. Today, volunteers at the church cooked 30 turkeys. I bet it smelled good in there. Tomorrow, they'll carve them all up so that everything is ready to go on Thursday. The church is expecting to feed some 500 people this year in just 2 hours.
It's pretty fast and furious. There's a lot of people to go through here in that amount of time, but we make it work, and there's a seat for everybody here at our table.
The doors open at 11 at the Good Shepherd location in Madison on Raymond Road.
That takes a lot of skill to cook that much.
Yes, it does. You may be using a lot of different products to keep your skin healthy, but there is one thing you may not have thought of that may be contributing to your skin issues.
I'm sitting down with an expert to talk about how people's water is a common culprit for skin problems and how you can change that. And Jacob has your Thanksgiving forecast and tells us when to expect alert day conditions over the weekend. That's when Live at 4 returns. Going to look at your full first warned forecast. Jacob is tracking a potential setback in your Thanksgiving travel plans. It always works out that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy next 6 days, just in time for one of the biggest travel weeks, if not the biggest travel week of the year. Now, as we take a look at the 3 things you need to know, gusts up to 50 miles per hour tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot colder for Thanksgiving. The cold weather will start tomorrow, and although I mentioned just Thanksgiving here, it's going to remain cold over the next 10 days. By the time we get to the weekend on Saturday, we're going to see another system move through our area, possibly bringing in snow accumulation. Actually, I should say likely going to bring in that snow accumulation as we have another alert day for that. Current radar still showing that rain off to the west. It will push through our area in the next few hours, and this will be along the cold front. And notice the wind directions to the east of the rainfall from the south, and then once that rain passes from the west, the winds are going to be coming out of the west, which will start that big cool down. And looking at after midnight, we're going to see some snow move into our region, especially late in the night into tomorrow morning. That's the best chance of snow, but we still could see some lingering snow showers for Wednesday afternoon, especially for areas to the east. But it's going to be very windy during this time as well, and we have that alert day for the winds. But before I show you that, here's a look at the accumulation forecast. Probably less than an inch, in fact, probably less than a half inch for Madison and surrounding areas, closer to an inch further northeast and also further to the north, where maybe 1 to 2 inches will be possible. There will be more accumulation across northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan, but in southern Wisconsin, not going to see too many travel headaches from this snowfall, but we will likely see those very strong winds cause some minor travel headaches, especially for the high-profile vehicles and especially on roads that are going to be going north-south. And the reason I say that is because the winds are going to be coming pretty consistently out of the west-northwest. And so when the winds are perpendicular to the road you're on, that's when it could cause the most trouble. So just be prepared for that. We are going to see gusts up around 40 to 50 miles per hour throughout all of the day tomorrow. Still going to be breezy for Thanksgiving, but not quite as bad. But it is going to continue to see that we're going to continue to see those temperatures fall. And then for Black Friday, it will be very cold, but not as windy. So looking at that forecast for those 2 days, cold on both days, should be pretty dry, highs near 30. Again, windy for Thanksgiving, not as windy for Black Friday. Could see some snow later in the day for Black Friday, but that next round is going to move in Friday night. And this round of snow will likely produce some snowfall accumulation, certainly more than what we're going to see tomorrow. Now, as we take a look at the timing of this one, again, dry for Thanksgiving and Black Friday, maybe some flurries at times, but not much. Beginning late Friday evening and Friday night, we're going to see that snow move in, and widespread snow showers are expected for most of Saturday and into Saturday night as well. And notice the extent of this snowfall. So if you're traveling to Chicago, further to the east across Michigan, further north across northern Wisconsin, and even parts of Minnesota, we're going to see a lot of travel impacts with this. Now, as it pushes to the northeast, for those of you that may be traveling to some of the Atlantic cities, New York, Boston, they're going to see mostly rain. So that's some good news, but a lot of travel impacts are expected with this system. The track can still shift a little bit further to the north and south, but right now with the temperature forecast that's expected for that time frame, these are the prime temperatures that we normally see some of those big snowfalls that we get. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have a big snowfall, but when temperatures are a bit colder, usually the system will track further south. If the temperatures are a bit warmer, it'll track further north. But when you're in that like upper 20 range, which is where we're going to be, that's the ideal temperatures for big snowfalls. Again, we're not saying it's going to be a big snowfall, but definitely expecting a few inches of snow with even colder temperatures following that snowfall for early next week.
Thank you, Jacob. Almost half of Americans have a daily skincare routine, but those with the routines, well, they could be overlooking something as simple as their shower water. This month is National Healthy Skin Month, and we are joined now by Helen Cristoni, the Senior Vice President of AquaTrue and a wellness expert with more than 20 years of experience. Thanks for being on with us.
Hi, thanks so much for having me today.
You know, I don't know if this is something people think about, but what are some of the chemicals or contaminants coming out of those water faucets when we're showering, and how could they be damaging our skin?
Well, I mean, two of the biggest offenders are what the municipalities are actually treating the water with, which is chlorine and also chloramines. And so in our water, at our water districts, they're putting those chemicals into our water to free them of bacteria and also viruses. But both chlorine and chloramines can wreak havoc on your skin health and on your hair. So really important that when we're in the shower, we're just recognizing that we're showering in water that's treated with both chlorine and chloramines.
Oh, that's interesting. And are there any signs that you could be having some negative effects, things to watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like if you get rashes, itchy skin, dry skin, people that suffer from psoriasis, eczema, any sort of skin condition, having this added chlorine and or chloramines in your shower water can really irritate any underlying skin issues. And it can also just cause our skin to be dry, especially in winter months like we are in now. And like, forget about hair and chemically treated hair. Chlorine and chloramine are really bad for our hair also.
So no matter like what types of lotions or creams or shampoos and conditioner, if you're kind of damaging yourself, I mean, is that like the foundation of it all?
Yeah, I mean, these, you know, both chlorine and chloramines. And for chloramines, for people that don't know, it's a combination of chlorine and ammonia, and it's widely used across the United States to treat water. They're stripping all of our natural essential oils from our skin and our hair. And so making sure that you filter that chlorine and those chloramines out and reduce them from your water is super important when we're showering.
Well, for our viewers at home, you mentioned the filters. You know, where can people find them, and are they affordable?
Sure. I mean, here at AquaTrue, we have a shower filter that we have that's $149, and that'll last in the shower for about 3 months, and it will reduce chlorine, chloramines, and also heavy metals from the water. And once you shower with a shower filter, you can immediately tell the difference in how soft your skin is, how your hair responds. And for those people who are suffering with eczema and dry skin, like I was saying earlier, it'll give you some relief.
Well, and then lastly, do you have any other helpful suggestions that people can do when it comes to their water or just overall skincare in general?
Sure. So first of all, during dry months like now, people really over exfoliate. So you want to make sure that you're not over exfoliating your skin in the shower. That's a number one. Number two, I think it's very important that we know what's going on at our own water municipalities and what they're treating our water with. So if you go to ewg.org or you can go to ismywatersafe.com, run your zip code and find out what's in your water, because knowledge is absolutely power.
Yeah, those little tips can add up and make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Helen, thank you very much for this conversation. I appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on, and happy holidays.
You too. Well, up next at 4, we look ahead to the Packers game this Thanksgiving.
Our senior Packers writer, Jason Wilde, brings us coverage from Green Bay.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, the Pack is set to go head-to-head against Detroit on Thanksgiving Day.
The team's new linebacker has been there and is ready for it. Our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde is in Green Bay with Micah Parsons' mindset going into the game.
having spent his first 4 NFL seasons with the Dallas Cowboys, who play every year on Thanksgiving. Packers edge rusher Micah Parsons knows a thing or two about getting ready on a short week for the holiday game. This time, he's a Green Bay Packer, and he's taking on the Detroit Lions, a team that beat the Packers twice last season. And while Micah Parsons wasn't here for that, his competitive juices are already flowing for the big matchup on Thanksgiving Day.
He's like, I just hate to lose, and that's just me. Like, I really hate to lose. Like, there was a time I was playing game night with my girl, and she went against me, and I lost, and I didn't speak to her for about 2 days. You know what I mean? So, like, it's just like that mindset, just hate to lose. Like, I hate to lose. I hate the feeling of someone beat me. I hate the feeling of someone stopped me.
And here's a tip. If you ever want to take on Micah Parsons in any sort of board game, steer clear of Connect 4. Parsons says he hasn't lost a game of that in 5 years. We've got that story and everything else Packers covered on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our Packers newsletter, which delivers our coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
That was funny, Jason. Thank you. And over the next couple of days, you're going to want to pay attention to the forecast because there is a lot going on over the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's going to be windy tomorrow, just some light snow, not going to see a ton of snowfall, but very windy, and it's going to be a lot colder compared to today. Still windy for Thanksgiving, but not nearly as windy as it will be Wednesday. Then Saturday is the day that could be the most impactful with the accumulating snow expected, and then afterwards, Monday morning and Tuesday morning, we could see lows in the single digits. So
ouch.
Very
Throw
cold
another
then.
dog on the bed.
Right.
Thanks, Jacob. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on Live at 4, send us your plant questions. Lisa Briggs will join us in the studio to answer them. And later on News at 5, how a local group is working to bring relief to people in Jamaica nearly 1 month after Hurricane Melissa made landfall. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts now.